This same system that's bringing rain to us is going to move across the Gulf, and then folks in Iowa are concerned that later this week they'll get some of the remnants of that and then have more flooding concerns as well. So all interconnected, all impacting a lot of the country, even though it's a system that's still just south of Florida. This is our potential tropical cyclone. It's not a tropical system yet. It's really just this big storm system that has a bunch of rain wrapping around it. But as it moves into the Gulf later today, it is forecast to develop and become a tropical storm. So really within the next 24 hours, we could have a named storm on our hands if this thing can get its act together. That's what the official forecast is. The next name on our list is Gordon. It's expected to make landfall and then move up and kind of slow down a little bit. And then all of that moisture would bring quite a bit of rain up through Oklahoma and Arkansas, parts of Texas, and then continue northward. And again, that's what the folks in Iowa are watching closely as well. Florence, meanwhile, way far away, but just continuing its trek to the west-northwest. We'll be watching it all week. It is forecast to start to curve to the north, so I'm not expecting any direct impacts here in Florida. However, a little uncertainty about where the storm goes once it starts curving to the north. So we'll be watching that one. We have a little bit of rain left, but only a little bit. We are just about done with these showers. In fact, when you look at the radar, it's a totally different story now from several hours ago when not only did we have rain, we had some really gusty winds too, but now it's just some light showers, a lot of clouds, and still a little bit humidity, although the cooler air is starting to come in as well. You can see as we zoom in closer, there's just not much left at all. Flagler, Volusia, back through Seminole and Orange, just some very light showers that are rolling through. A couple pockets of rain off to the south in Polk, Osceola, and southern Brevard counties. Now this will continue for the next few hours. We'll have just this on and off rain, and then there's a bunch of clouds as well. But as soon as all of this passes by in the next several hours, we will eventually get some drier air in here, and that's what will cool us down for tomorrow morning and finally bring the sunshine back as we head through the weekend. Right now it is only 60 in Ocala and Palm Coast. It is 66 in Orlando and 68 in Melbourne, so a little bit cooler tonight, especially to the north compared to the last several evenings. We will stay mostly cloudy with some spotty showers overnight, and our temperatures will continue to drop. We were in the lower 80s today, a few mid 80s, and right now we're still in the mid to upper 60s. It's even 70 in Orlando and Kissimmee and 72 right now in Melbourne. Now things are pretty quiet. We've got a little cloud cover, but things are going to change in the next few hours. A dense fog advisory has already been posted for Marion and Flagler County and points northward. There's quite a bit of fog that's starting to settle in along the coast off to the north. Now not much here in central Florida yet. Palm Coast is reporting 7-mile visibility, 8 miles in New Smyrna Beach, so that just indicates a little bit of haziness, but that fog will no doubt start to develop even more along the Gulf Coast and then start spreading east over the next several hours. We're going to have warnings kind of popping up here and there as this whole line rolls through and shows circulation, shows rotation inside of it. And they're going to be quick little spin-ups as well. So here's what's happening right now. The line of potential rotation is moving across central Florida. There is one warning that is in effect, and it's the one in southern Polk County. It is a tornado warning. There is some rotation in this just crossing the border over into Polk County. And this is making its way to the northeast so fast, 45 miles per hour. So that warning is in effect until 9:15. So it's less than a half hour as it moves up and should start to weaken a little bit. But again, this isn't the kind of system that we would normally get where a thunderstorm has this life where it starts and then just ends kind of quickly. These are going to have the potential to have these little spin-ups at any time as they make their way to the east. So there's no warning for this area here right now that's moving from Lake over into Orange. There was a warning earlier, though, for Lake and Orange County, and still a little bit of rotation, a very weak rotation inside of here. But it's not as much that as there's heavy rain and there's also thunder and lightning too. So really from Sorrento down right across Lake Apopka outside of downtown Orlando, but it is headed that way within about a half hour, 45 minutes. We also have some heavier rain across Ocala National Forest, lighter rain in Flagler and Volusia, but from time to time you've had some downpours rolling through, and that's going to continue. We've got rain in most of the area now. This is the initial line here. The cold front, though, there's still a front that's way back to the west that's going to be rolling through here. We've got a kind of a warm situation happening right now. So there's going to be more of this through the day. And from now until 4 o'clock, we're going to have to watch these storms firing up and moving through central Florida all the way through the afternoon and even into the evening commute. Still possible that we'll have at least some storms, whether they're strong or even at severe levels. So a Futurecast picks up on it, and you can see how it shows some of that intensity from now through noon, hanging out here on the west side of the state, trying to push over closer to I-4. That continues then from noon until about 3 o'clock today. Notice the rain doesn't really push quickly to the east. The individual storms are moving fast along that line, but the whole line itself, we're going to still be dealing with this until late afternoon and into the evening. Now, once we get into the late night and the storms push off the coast and off to the south, we'll still have a lot of clouds, we'll have a lot of moisture, and a few scattered showers here and there, and that's going to continue into tomorrow. So Friday, we don't clear out quickly behind this front. We actually have another couple of things coming through, little disturbances tomorrow, so we'll still have at least some scattered showers for us Friday. You can see that was in the morning, that's noon, now we're at 3 o'clock, and we're still getting these little pockets of rain throughout the day on Friday. Now, once we finally get through Friday, a strong cold front that's actually cold and dry will come through for Saturday and Sunday. That's what will lead to more sunshine, cooler air, and then look at Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We'll be back in the 70s with lots of sunshine next Monday and Tuesday. So now the kit is ready and the hurricane plan is in place. What about the kids? Children can react differently to disasters than adults. I spoke with educators and kids about how to help children cope before, during, and after a storm. We don't get snow days here, but every Florida kid knows about hurricane days. While it can seem like a fun vacation for many, some children feel frightened or more nervous in storm season.
This generation is more aware of what's going on weather-wise, world-wise, just because they're more plugged in. They get more information. I think there are conversations happening in families about what would we do if.
To help kids understand what may happen during a storm, Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, suggests getting kids involved in the preparations.
At home, my family would put boards and stuff on the windows, get a lot of water, pull out any candles that we have, or if we don't, then buy more and get a lot of food that won't expire.
It's also important to understand your child's unique needs based on their age and personality. Some kids may be more worried than others. Principal Bynum suggests sticking to a routine for as long as possible before the storm. Watch your own behavior too. Model a calm response as you prepare. During the storm, give them plenty of reassurance and distractions.
If you have something to do, it keeps your mind off something negative and turns it into something positive.
After the storm, help your kids return to their normal routine as quickly as possible.
The sooner you get school back in session, I think the better the general public feels.
As kids get older, they develop a better understanding of disasters, but younger children can feel powerless and helpless. Reassuring them in the face of disaster can go a long way.